We're ready. Here we go. Let's get it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Here we go for the second head and hand game between Tania Sachdev and Magnus Carlsen versus Fabiano Caruana and Maurice Ashley. This amazing
We have a shuffling around. What do we got?
Device that we have
Position
is to
6,
find
1,
the position.
9. Holly has pulled. I'm going to place it right here.
619
I would
it
love
is.
to pretend like I have any idea what that means.
You're the hand. You're going to reach over to hit this clock?
Yeah, that's fine. I can.
Is it
We
fine?
did that.
Okay.
We did that the last time.
Okay.
Do we start?
They're gonna do the gong thing, I
Oh
think.
yeah.
Oh, the gong.
Move closer because I can't really hear. The music is really loud, so I'll sit closer.
Okay.
Okay, sure.
The gong? Are we going to do the gong again or we just start?
The game is about to begin and you can see the starting position is a bit weird with the king on d1, queen on c1. The gong has
Sounded
been
like a
hit.
gong.
This time it's Maurice and
Pawn.
Tania who are the head and Fabi and Magnus who are the hand. G3 played here by Fabi and now Magnus is thinking the bishop has opened up and he goes for the move G6, which is maybe not the best move here, but that's okay. E4 played here by Caruana. This is a must-win game for Fabi and Maurice Ashley. And taking control of the center here. Let's see how this works. Tania has to call out a piece now to Magnus and Magnus will make the move.
Pawn.
And she says pawn. Magnus pushes d5.
Okay then.
It's a pawn sacrifice. Very interesting pawn sacrifice there by Magnus. Actually, this is backed by the bishop, so he's trying to do something different here. You can see there Jan Buettner looking at the game. He's the man behind
Oh, this is Magnus.
the freestyle.
This is freestyle.
Freedom of mind.
Whoa. Well, I'm going to have to say pawn.
And Fabi captures it.
Pawn.
What? Magnus, I'm that.
Dude!
Now what happens? You need to call the arbiter.
Arbiter!
Okay, I'll say something else then.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. But okay, that's okay. We'll go.
I mean, you can go with pawn. And no. It's
I'll say it's okay.
that is just massive.
Beautifully done.
Magnus being the hand
Yeah, that's a shame.
still remained the head from the last game and called out a pawn.
Magnus just really wants Armageddon too.
Or he just wants
No,
control
it's
of the
fine,
whole
it's fine,
action.
just one sec.
He just said he wanted to be the hand, and then he's reverted.
So now Tania is planning to say some other piece apart from the pawn, which is not easy in this position. I believe Magnus's idea was c6 to give up another pawn.
Anyway.
Or maybe knight f6 makes a lot of sense here to develop the knight. Tania is under a bit of pressure here.
What do I do? Wait.
She's thinking quite a bit.
Okay, let's go knight.
And she plays her knight. Magnus puts the knight on f6. This pawn now is very well defended and the queen is on c8, not on d8, so you can't really win the pawn just yet. Knight mentioned, and Let's see what Fabi plays here. There is knight f3 possible, but then it blocks the bishop. You can go knight c3, which is the most natural move. You can also play knight e2. And he does play knight to c3, which is maybe okay, but perhaps according to the engines, it is.
Remind me, why are we down a pawn?
I think it's a fairly safe bet, what you probably should say now.
Whatever. Okay. I'm not sure though.
Maybe this move, bishop d7, with
Fine,
the idea
pawn.
of looking at the light square, says pawns.
Probably haven't spoiled so much of your idea.
No.
c6 played here. And now if pawn takes pawn, you want to take it back with the knight. And play, or maybe take it back with the bishop and get rid of this bishop so that the light squares become weak. That's the idea. It will be interesting to see if Fabi takes the pawn.
Let's go with pawn.
So takes could be an option here. Maurice did say a pawn, but you could also just play pawn to d3 or d4. That can be a viable option. Time wise, 8 minutes for Magnus and Tania, while Caruana and Maurice on 9 minutes on the clock.
3 different decisions to make.
It's fine, take your time.
He goes d3.
Pawn.
Magnus, you need to stop doing that.
Come on now.
I'm still in the
Come
mode
on
of
now.
being the high.
Come on
This
now.
is horrible.
What do I do?
Yeah, but I'm
Come
just
on.
messing up our position because now we cannot play pawn. Oh my god.
I know you're under a
He's
lot of
hand in
stress
hand,
playing
eh?
with me. You know?
Yeah, I thought it would be
Gotta
less
keep it
stressful.
together. Okay.
Can we like just trade one? So you guys say pawn and I'll say.
No, it's fine. We'll play without that, okay? What do you want to? What do we do? This
Because
is
like you
unprecedented.
can't do anything else, right? I mean,
What do you want to do? I mean, okay, we can play. We continue without saying pawn then. So I'm
yeah,
not allowed
I'm
to say pawn.
I'm okay with them just doing it, whatever. You were going to do it anyway, right?
I don't know. Not sure.
I thought she was going to do it anyway.
And now Tania can't really say the pawn.
I mean, then we have to.
Oh, let's see what she comes up with next. And Magnus like, oh, my mistake is actually causing us to go down in the position. It's no longer so great.
Okay, let's go. Oh. Where do we go?
I'm starting to realize it's stressful either way.
Yes. Tell me about it.
Either way. Because you lose control somehow.
yeah.
Okay. We're going Queen, Magnus.
Sweet.
Probably not. Really?
Is that same
Yes, we're going Queen.
that same queen excursion she went on the last time?
Let's
It's
go
my favorite piece.
G4, B4.
What the heck?
That's what I
Queen
wanted.
to f5.
Yeah, okay.
I think it's not an absolute disaster, actually.
No.
Okay, remember, I'm the head, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I'm painfully aware.
The thing is that even though Magnus made this mistake twice, the position is not so bad for black, although white is a pawn up and is clearly doing better. So the question is how to continue. One idea is to put your queen on this active
go,
square.
Let's go.
Just to be clear, if the hand says something, then the head cannot move that piece. Okay.
Yeah.
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 That's fair.
I'm gonna say queen.
I think Fabi is very happy to see that.
Yeah, very cool move there.
You know what? So am I actually. I think.
Oh.
Then everyone's happy.
This is hanging now. The rook is hanging. So Tania doesn't really have too many options apart from the fact if she wants to trade queens. But I don't think she would like to do that because that.
How did this happen to us? Maybe it's fine actually. Rook. Sorry.
Okay.
Magnus plays the rook to g8. Now it's Maurice's turn. Now maybe there is this move bishop e4, which is interesting, giving up the bishop. Not so easy to make though. Like here, knight e4, de, and then the queen doesn't have too many good squares. But apart from that, maybe the other options here could be just queen h3, trying to trade or taking the pawn. Maurice Ashley is under a little bit of pressure here. He doesn't really
Okay, I'm gonna go with
understand what exactly he would like to do here. Too many good options actually for him.
leading development, maybe trade off PC. I'm gonna go with pawn.
Takes, bishop takes. And this is exactly what black wanted, but not that bad for white as well. Maybe just f3, blocking the pawn.
Bishop.
Takes the bishop, knight takes.
This this is real. Oh, I get back home. What the fuck is wrong? Okay, king.
And now the king, so it's time to long castle here. And for Tania, it's a tough moment now what to play because they are a pawn down and actually white is doing really well. But you have some nice advantage. You have the bishop here, you have maybe a rook joining in, the queen is actively placed, so good move now would be to play b5 with the idea of b4. Not at all easy to find it. I'm pretty sure that it's maybe not even on Tania's radar right now. She has to think what to do.
Let's go
She says
bishop.
bishop, and actually bishop has only one move in the position, so Magnus has to play
Queen.
That was easy.
bishop g7. And now Fabi needs to decide what next to do. He has to move the queen. You can go back queen d2, queen e3, queen h3. These look like the most normal moves. Queen h4 also exists. There's also queen f4 where you spoil your structure a bit. Maybe not the best idea there. You can see how the position is very different as compared to normal chess with the bishop still on e1, rook on the last rank. He plays queen to f4, which is not the best move there.
Queen.
And Magnus just takes it.
Pawn.
Magnus, when you're down a pawn, you don't trade pieces.
You trade when you're when it's desirable positionally.
Wait, I'm so stupid. The rook moved. right?
This one, yes, but not this one.
Cut
Oh
that.
no! Are you kidding?
What does he even mean by that?
Is that why you didn't
I
want to play
didn't even
Queen H3?
understand that.
Yeah, no, of course, then Queen H3. So
Oh my
no, I
goodness!
thought Black Crystal Castle. I just forgot.
What the heck?
Okay, that was a bit of a slip up.
What the heck? I was wondering what this drama was.
Very interesting that Fabi thought
No, because I had the thought like I'll play Queen H3 automatically, and then I was like, well, wait, Black and Castle. And okay, it's fine. We're still up a pawn, just not as healthy. a
Not
pawn.
as nice as it was. Oh no!
so he wanted to maybe
Okay, let's
I
go.
was wondering what was so deep.
No, nothing. Just some major stupidity.
Okay. Well, let's make it work.
the idea here was that if Fabi realized that the queen that he could not castle shot, he would have played queen h3, and even if the queen had moved, the king cannot castle shot here, which does not give attacking chances. And when he realized
Knight.
this, that the rook had moved and you cannot shot castle,
Hey, that's what
he
I
was
wanted.
unhappy with this last move. So take.
Not what you wanted, I guess.
No, no, it was fine.
It's okay.
Look at Magnus, how focused he is, completely into the position there.
If I do this has to move.
Do you want to offer them a draw?
We offer you a draw.
We'll consider it.
Deeply considering ignoring how badly we're going to ignore it. This doesn't work. None will work, so I'll lose you like this. Okay, knight.
Well, now the knight has been mentioned. So if you play this knight, perhaps the knight comes to f3. So Fabi plays the other knight.
Knight.
And now the question is, should you take here? It seems fine, but you can also move backwards here. And he plays his knight back to e6.
Bishop.
Played his bishop now to a5 check. Magnus is very surprised.
Random is random.
Why this check?
Why not?
What is the point? And now
Pawn.
b6.
Bishop.
Bishop comes back. So the deep point of this check was to maybe provoke b6 to lighten the to weaken the light squares.
Okay, let's go king.
Long castle here. Magnus and Tania not only are pawn down but also slightly lower on the clock.
Knight.
This does look like it might move towards a 1-1 draw. There are no tie breaks. The previous game was won by Magnus and Tania. Now, knight has been mentioned and Magnus goes into a think. Should he play knight h5? Should he play knight d5? What are the moves that he's looking for? Plays knight to c5. Okay, very interesting. He removes his knight from e6 and to a square which was perhaps not anticipated by anyone.
Knight.
Knight e5 played, attacking the pawn on f7
Rook.
and rook f8 to defend the pawn. Let's see what now Maurice comes up with. Which piece? They need to get their central pawns rolling here. That would be really good for them. But it's not so easy to push them. The d4 is maybe met with knight e4.
Rook.
Says the rook. And Fabi plays rook fe1.
Pawn.
e6 here by Magnus.
Not a happy position.
Not the worst.
Knight. You keep making these reactions. You definitely want me to do something else.
No, I like it.
Where should the knight go? Should the knight go to c3 or g3 is the question. Fabi has to think. They're down to 3 minutes on the clock.
King.
Plays knight
Nice.
c3 and now king b7, and he says nice, that's the move that Magnus wanted.
Is he allowed to make her feel better about herself? Okay, we need to speed up a little bit. So, bishop.
Bishop,
That was easy.
and he plays bishop
Yeah.
e3. There was only
I like
one
it.
move for the bishop. 2 minutes 36 seconds
Knight.
for Fabi and Maurice, while 3 minutes for Magnus and Tania.
Whoa. That was not.
Knight a6. He's playing certain unconventional moves here to throw off the opponents, but clearly the position of black is not inspiring confidence here in anyone.
Here, there's nothing. There's nothing. The fuck? Pawn.
Plays the pawn forward. So the pawns have started to roll.
Knight.
Plays his knight to c7. Maybe later he can put one of his knights on d5. Keep an eye here.
Mine has got like d4, e6, c5, a6, c7.
The knight has had a long route to reach where it has, and it's still not found a
I'm not
home.
saying it's bad.
King.
King b1.
It's good strategy.
There's a hidden point. Whatever that is.
Pawn. What, that one?
Pushes pawn to
Okay
b5.
then.
That's a good move.
Let's do
For
this.
what my point was.
Yeah, was surprised.
Shit. Okay, we gotta do some shit.
We do have to do some shit. I agree.
Pawn.
Pawn to f3 is a nice move because you're now preparing knight to e4. The only problem now is that if a knight jumps here, the bishop can no longer move. The f4 pawn is hanging, and there's no pawn to protect the bishop to straighten it out. So
Knight.
the speed at which Magnus is playing is really amazing. He's
Knight.
taking quick decisions. He's making his opponents think. The moment Tania says a piece, he's ready with his move.
What is happening? A lot.
Now the knight can jump here and give a check. The knight on e4 is really a great piece.
At
let's see what next is played here by Maurice and Fabi. They are going down on time here, but it is the move of Tania and Magnus, so they also are going low on time, so it will be equal time after this. Magnus takes the bishop.
Rook.
Knight.
Now the other knight joins into the action to attack the rook. I guess rook to b3 is not such a silly move. Yes, he attacks the pawn now. How do you defend it?
Okay.
A6 is something that I would love to play, but then there's check. And already it's trouble time because after king a7 there is knight c6 check. So tough moment now. This is hanging. I don't know what Tania wants to do.
Bishop.
Says the bishop.
Sorry.
Maybe she wants to take the knight.
The
I
hell?
just couldn't
Can I
understand.
call the arbiter?
Bishop and
Oh, it was that bad.
Look,
Oh my
because
gosh.
if he would have taken bishop takes knight, which is what Tania wanted,
Okay, king.
then fe5 and white is clearly better because the knight would jump in.
Wow. Bishop h6 he had to play.
I think under the circumstances, it was kind
Yeah,
of
I mean,
necessary.
what I wanted was so horrible that he chose that instead.
Well, this does look great for white.
figure this out.
This is far from over, Tania.
Okay, fine.
Far, far from over.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's only 2 pawns.
You're gonna get one back, I pretty much guarantee.
Yeah, this is an over.
Pawn.
Knight.
Whoa.
Ooh, he moves
That was
in
unexpected.
with the knight
Rook.
attacking here. So rook moves, and now very important to find rook d3 with the idea of swinging over the rook to a3 to attack the white king, the black king.
Bishop.
Rook c1 played. And this does allow black to fight back now. Bishop takes pawn.
Knight.
Maurice
The offer of a draw stands, by the way.
now says a knight.
I heard you.
I was just letting them know.
But now the position is getting tougher. Rook c8 attacking the knight, and he must play the rook here to defend it. Otherwise, he will be in trouble. If you say pawn, take, take, take,
Fuck,
Take. take,
It's actually really interesting.
What the fuck is happening?
and this is hanging. You can see both Tania and Magnus looking more and more confident there.
Whoa.
Pawn.
Okay, pawn.
Now
What
takes.
does he want?
Pawn.
All of a sudden, it's black in the driver's seat. You can see Magnus wants Tania to make a specific move. Will she do it? Yes, she finds it. And now the problem is the rook is hanging. Let's imagine you take here, takes, takes, and black wins. So
Rook.
rook c5 played. Kept keeping the knight defended, but also attacking the knight here.
Knight.
But from a completely worse position out of the opening.
Okay.
Don't. I'm just thinking.
Magnus thinks, and Tania is like, oh, I must have said the wrong move. But this time, Magnus is like, don't think so. It's a good one. Knight b6 played. Look at the focus on Tania's face.
TikTok.
TikTok. He's telling about the clock. It's ticking down.
That's gonna have to be. Shit. Pawn.
Pawn.
H3 and now
Nice.
F5. The knight has to move.
But where?
Because if knight d2, it's hanging, so he goes
Bishop.
knight c3, and now this beautiful move bishop, which traps the rook and is completely winning. You can see the rook does not have any squares to go to. It's completely winning. You can see the excitement on the face of Tania. Also Magnus does feel like this is really going his way.
The fuck?
And Maurice is like, what? How did my
Maurice,
rook
5 seconds.
get trapped?
Rook.
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 Oof. Plays the rook.
What?
And now Tania is like, what? This is a free piece. Wins a free piece. Smiles on
Maybe she
Magnus
resigned this
and
one out.
Tania's face. Resignation.
Still knight was not
like
losing.
Caruana and Ashley.
What was not losing?
I mean, 95. was losing.
95 rookie.
Oh, okay, it's still losing.
Take care.
We did it.
And we've done
Thank
it.
you.
Tania and Magnus have won the Freestyle Exhibition match 2-0.
No, it's still
Well
losing.
done.
But we were.
Oh my gosh. I
Yeah,
don't know.
when you said pawn, I shouldn't play c4, but
Yeah, well, you should go rook d3.
It was very stressful, and then a lot
Yeah, we
happened
were
in the
winning.
opening when Magnus forgot that he's the hand.
I mean,
It got fun.
d5, king 8.
Yeah, I
It
don't
was-
like relax that.
No, I mean, we were